The weather's great today. You can see, look at the sky.
Yeah, it's coming up,
nice and clear. And today we're going to go and pull some nets. We're going to see if we can catch some lobster, maybe a few crab, some sea bass. I think Chef Luke is here. The boat is ready to go. Whatever we catch in the nets, we're going to choose what we want to cook. And there we are. We'll do it on the way in.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's
I'm
go.
excited.
Let's go. Good morning, everybody.
Not quite a Harley Davidson, but you know, I'm definitely never go of it. What are you going to cook today?
Hopefully I'm going to do a lobster dish, lobster satay, Singapore chili crab, and then we're going to do some scallops or like we could catch some whitefish.
Okay. Before we get back to the kitchen, I'm going to be hungry. I haven't had no breakfast. Cameron ain't had no breakfast either, have you? So we're going to cook some lobster on the boat today.
Yeah? All right. Nice one. Seawater to cook the crabs in, proper seawater, nice and salty. So I'm just doing a bit of prep for the Singapore chili crab. So I've just got some banana shallot, some garlic, some ginger. Just going to get all this diced up, and then that's going to go into the paste. Which in here we've got some shio koji, some shrimp paste, kaffir lime, bit of soy sauce, some chorip dong like Korean red pepper flakes, gochujang paste, and some salt and some sugar. We're going to chop all that up, make a paste, and then use that to fry up. And then we're going to add the crabs to that, along with some dashi. So I'm just getting a few little bits and bobs done now, so it's going to be nice and easy to make the dish later on.
So your first time cooking on a boat like this?
Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah, try and not chop my fingers off whilst we're rocking.
So this is one end of our net, the black flag, one end of the net. And look over here. The other end there. There's 500 metres of net between each flag, and the net is on the seabed, and this is what we put out yesterday. Right. So now we see what we've caught. And the mesh size is 5 inches, which means the real small stuff will swim through, and the bigger stuff will obviously get caught.
Breakfast is served! Fresh lobster, yeah! Some jerk lobster, guys.
How is it?
It's tasty, man. Spicy. It's the lobster that we just caught this morning. Taking the tail off. Going to use the claws for the chili crab soup. I've just skewered it. It's completely raw. We're just going to cook it in the shell, just nice and gently over the fire, rather than boiling it. I just prefer the meat like this, and you get a nice charred flavour from the barbecue as well.
Oh wow! Oh, look at that!
This is how they cook them in Asia, just straight over the fire. So whilst these are cooking, we're going to get the going to start the chili crab soup in here. I've got some lightly roasted sesame oil. It's going to be what we're going to cook the crab paste in. So a nice hot pan, and then this is the paste that we made earlier. So we got the Korean pepper flakes, gochujang, garlic, chili, ginger, shallot, lemongrass, some salt, some sugar, and a bit of kaffir lime. It's going to go straight into that. Just going to fry that off in there. So let that get acquainted together. So we've got the lobsters going on here. So just cooking them in the shell, and then I'm going to let them cool completely, and then we're going to pop it out of the shell, and we're just going to coat it in the satay sauce and grate some fresh kaffir lime over it. Whilst this is frying off, I'm just going to chuck the crab legs in there. Got the claws here, so these are just fresh off the boil. Just going to break them up a little bit. Break them open. smash them up so we expose the flesh, and then all the natural oils will come out into the paste as well from the bones. Smells amazing. Just get them legs in there as well. So what you're taking out here is these gills either side, called the lady's fingers. Dead man's fingers rather. Lady's fingers. You're going to get rid of that because they're no good. And then all this lovely juice and brown meat inside is going to go straight in. The paste is fried off in the sesame oil, and then we've got the crab that we've just broken down. That's all getting acquainted with each other. Now I'm going to add to it the dashi stock. So it's Japanese stock called dashi. It's made with mineral water, kombu seaweed, smoked and dried bonito flakes. We've got a little bit of shiitake mushroom in there as well. So we'll just deglaze that with that. It smells great. Lobsters should be cooked now. I'm just going to let them rest inside the shell with the skewer on. Let them cool down a little bit, pull the skewers out, and then we're just going to cut them open, and I'm just going to serve it with the satay sauce. Yes, Singapore chili crab. So it's like a street food dish, like a crab soup. So the idea being, the broth is obviously packed full of flavour from the stock and the crab itself and the paste, and then the idea being you just pick out the meat from all of the shell, have a bit of the meat, have a spoonful of the broth. We're going to garnish it with some spring onions and coriander as well, so it's nice and fragrant and green. Super simple, sort of like one pot dish. Really easy to make at home. Key being obviously like how fresh your seafood is that you're putting in it. You could do like a vegetarian one if you wanted. You don't have to use dashi, like fish-based dashi. You could just use a seaweed dashi, kombu. You could just chuck loads of vegetables in it instead of the seafood, and it could easily be like a nice vegan or vegetarian dish. So the skewers out of the lobsters now. Whilst these ones rest, we're going to get the next two cooking. So I'm just putting the skewer straight through the flesh. So you've got two sort of lines of flesh down the lobster, straight on the grill. Yeah, it's beautifully cooked. Just going to let those rest until these ones are done, and then I'll take them all out of the shell together rather than doing the job twice, do you know what I mean? Meanwhile, just going to chop some spring onions and some coriander for the chili crab. So just want the green of the spring onion really for this dish. So yeah, I'm just going to pop the spring onion in there. It's just the same tub that I had the paste in, so it's going to go back in. The coriander, I'm just not going to chop it too fine. Just going to leave it nice and big. All the best bit of the flavour for the coriander for me is in the stalk, so I like to leave that in there. It's got a nice little crunch on it as well, so I'll pop that to one side, ready for that. I'm just going to get some prawns. Just going to chop the prawns in completely whole, head, everything, job lot. So this is going to be cooked now, so I'm just going to rest that sort of at the back of the barbecue, and then just let the thicker part of the lobster, which is still raw, I'm just going to let that cook through now. This is the satay sauce for the lobster. Just warmed that up. Just let that sit to one side. This is going to be for another dish we're going to do with the scallops. So this just needs to come up to the boil just to cook the prawns through. Then I'm going to turn it off and add the coriander and the spring onion, and then just let it rest, and then it's good to go. Just get a spoon in there, start sipping the broth and cracking the crab. It's not far off now. So we're just going to finish the lobster satay now. So these have just been cooked on the grill, nice and slowly.
got the warmest place on the boat.
Beautifully cooked lobster. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. Try and make it look nice. Just gonna warm this up a little bit more before I pop it on. So this is the satay sauce for the lobster. So it's a dashi base, like the chili crab. So the stock made from kombu seaweed and katsuobushi. And then to that we add a couple of different curry pastes. One is a Panang curry paste, and then the other one is like a masamam style curry paste. And then to that we add loads of minced vegetables, chili, garlic, coriander root. It's got lemongrass, shallot, all sorts of stuff in there. Loads of kaffir lime. Add that to it, fry it all off together, and then we add roasted pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and then coconut, and then we just cook it out and blend it basically, and then we finish it with some fish sauce and a bit more dashi if it needs it, and then you get this lovely creamy satay sauce. Chili crab is done now, so I'm just gonna pop them to one side. So you've got all the prawns, you've got the crab, it's all in there. To that I'm just gonna add spring onion and the coriander, a little bit more sesame oil, and there we have it. Singapore style chili crab and prawn soup made with fresh seafood from the Eastbourne Sea. Alright, this is warm now. Just gonna run the satay over the lobster. Kaffir lime zest. And then I'm just gonna chop a little bit of coriander. There you go. Lobster satay. Smells absolutely fucking incredible.
This is proper food.
Lovely.
Best of Sussex.
Chef Lukey went in. Makeshift plate. Scallop. That tastes like it just melted in my mouth like butter. Big man. That scallop was amazing. Now to taste some of the soup.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful platter. Chef Lukey, check him out. Well guys, we're back at shore. Anything to say, Luke?
Just thoroughly enjoyed that experience, to be honest. Cooking on the back of the boat, it was sick, man. Yeah, it was really, really good.
And I saw you the step-by-step instructions. So if you guys at home do this, make sure you tag
Chef Luke French on Instagram. # one-way ticket to Flavortown.
See you again.
Great to meet you, mate. Great to meet you.
Right, back at shore. I know that the last time that I cooked with you and Green, we met you at Green's house.
Yeah, man.
Which was Mental Health Awareness Day.
It was.
And you weren't part of the conversation between myself and Green. I know a lot of people have reached out to me talking about they appreciated it, about shared personal stuff with myself. Is there anything that you feel comfortable talking about with me today?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah. To be honest with you, the main thing for me was like alcohol. I used to drink too much, and it got to a point like through and after COVID where it just took a hold of me, to be honest, and it started affecting me physically but mentally in quite a big way as well. You know, so I had to do something about that to change.
So what did you do to overcome that?
My wife was the biggest help for me, you know, just being there and being a rock for me, really. Just helping me kind of overcome it, but putting myself into my work, obviously, like what I do, and we're running.
What's your coping mechanism? Because I've had problems before, and I know that I need to have a way of coping with my problems. And people always think that, okay, it's a fix to an issue. It's never a permanent fix. You always have to keep treading that line and keeping yourself in a positive place, I believe.
Being outside for me is the biggest thing, you know. Just going out, getting some fresh air, going foraging, taking my dog for a walk, going fishing, doing stuff like we've done today.
I went fishing this year. I went fishing on the motorcycle and enjoyed it. It was just me time, nice but peaceful.
That's it.
And I think that's why I like cooking as well. When I get in that kitchen, it's just like the prep work to get the end result. It's like I spend all that time thinking about what I want to do. I do it, and then the end result, it just puts me in a high.
Yeah, just getting a nice energy, man, from being outdoors and cooking outside. I just I put everything into what I do inside the kitchen as well, in my restaurant as well, and just really focusing on that.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come down to the restaurant.
Yeah,
and
do,
you're
man.
going to get your motorcycle license. We're going to do more cooking next year. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a deal.
100%.
All right. Take care.